Now that the second half of the season is underway, right, there are a few things that I want to see, and I think a lot of us should really focus on, right? Because at this point, the season is a loss. We're really fighting for draft position at this point because the Lions did not win or lose a game. That kind of does help the Texans a little bit if they're trying to get that number one overall pick. But so far, one of the things that I want to see is the development of Davis Mills. And I think that's one of the most important things that we really need to see now because we gave it a shot with Tyrod versus Miami. We win that game. We go into the bye week, with our heads held high. Maybe Tyrod could bring us back. Unfortunately, we didn't win that game. And now a lot of fans are looking at, why not start Davis Mills at this point? You're 1-8. There's nothing to play for. Really, a lot of the fans went from wanting Tyrod Taylor to switching to, wanting to develop Davis Mills. And I want that as well because, with this second half of the stretch going on, he's not going against the Colts. I'm sorry, well, he is, but I'm talking about like the hard teams, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Browns. Davis Mills is going to be going against teams that are not, that are not as good, as them. Like the Jets, he's going to go against the Jaguars once again. The 49ers, the last game, the Tennessee Titans, where they most likely will be resting their starters. This is more of Davis Mills type of games that you want him to start in, right? This dude went through the freaking gauntlet against some of the best teams in the NFL, and it showed. He looked horrible against all the great teams, and the one kind of mediocre team he played, which was the New England Patriots, if you want to still call him that. He throws 300, 3 TDs, So what you want to see is if he is something for the Houston Texans. And, this is going to be the main topics for this video is one less problem for them. Can Davis Mills show them this season, the second half of the season, that he can be a potential franchise quarterback? I'm not going to call him that after his rookie campaign. He's really in these next couple games buying himself another season, right? In the games that are against the Jets, that are against the 49ers, the Titans, the Seahawks, you better look damn good, Davis Mills. That's what he's fighting for, is next year. And, and next year is going to be, the main focal point of this video because at 1-8, there's not really much to hang your hat on. You're one of the worst teams in the NFL. Next year should already be your goal. Next year should already be what you're looking at. Free agency, the draft, so on. So with that being said, if I'm going to stay on offense, the development of Nico Collins, Brevin Jordan, I want to see them, in the game plan. It's going to do them a disservice if we are continuing to not play these young guys. I want to see Nico Collins play 80% of the snaps. If you want to give Brevin Jordan 50, give him more than what you're giving him out, then that's exactly okay. But these two offensive guys, really three if you want to include Davis Mills, this could be your potential, trio of offensive weapons for the foreseeable future. You need to develop them, in these games where winning is just, not something that you care about, and all you care about is develop them, and you could work on things. You could let, the playbook loose, open it up, let Davis Mills air it out, do more things with the wide receivers also. So I think the development of the young offensive weapons is something that needs to be taken account of. Also, moving Titus Howard back to right tackle. The experiment has been a complete fail. He doesn't look good as a guard, which is, what it's kind of a disappointment because we thought it was going to work out, but we said, hey, if it's not, move him back to a right tackle. We know he could play solid there. We know he could potentially be a franchise right tackle there. We were trying to vote him into the Pro Bowl last year because of how good he played. But as of right now, I think you stunted the growth of Titus Howard, what he could potentially be. I love the two tackle, tandems of a Laramie Tunsil and a Titus Howard. Tyler Linderbaum's in the draft. The young guard from the Browns, who's 23 years old, is gonna be getting a huge payday. Hopefully, it's by us. But go back to what what you want to build on is your two tackles of Titus Howard and David Smith. Switching to the defensive side of the ball, I think the development, the continued development and dominance of Jonathan Grenard is going to be huge for the Houston Texans. Like I said about David Smith, right? Can they give us less problems to focus on in the offseason? Do you not have to worry about one side of the line, because Jonathan Grenard, 7 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumble. He's up there in pressures. He's on pace to have a sack year in the 10. So be expecting that from Jonathan Grenard, right? The continued development is key for him. I want to see him dominate. He's going to have that chance. Can he end with 12, 13, 14 plus sacks? It's going to be something interesting to see, and something that the Houston Texans want to see as well. I do want to see a little bit more out of Ross Blacklock, right? As much as I gave him props in the video yesterday or today about, the potential gems, that the Houston Texans have, I think seeing him, really take home, put pressure on the QB, clog up their hole, potentially get a couple sacks, that's going to be huge for the Houston Texans. It's all about the future for this defense. And as much as I want to say the offense has a young core of defenders, the defensive side has it as well. You have the 2 nose tackles in Lopez and Blacklock, Grenard. If you want to throw in Jacob Martin. Speaking of Jacob Martin, I think we need to finally see the emergence of him. He's having his opportunity this year. He's playing much more than what he's ever played under Bill Bryant. Everything is there for Jacob Martin, to say, let me give the Houston Texans one less problem to worry about. Let me show that I could get to the quarterback. Let me show that I could be a third down defensive end. As far as that, also the linebacking core, right? I'm not so set on the linebacking core. As much as I like Christian Kirksey and Cunningham and Kruger Hill, there's a great chance that all those 3 guys might not even be on the roster next year. As we know, Kirksey is on the 1-year deal. Zach Cunningham was talked about being traded. Kruger Hill has showed plays. I want to see more of Neville Hewitt. I want to see the Ricky Garrett Winslow thrown in there, because, like I said, we are 1-8. We are where we are, which is one of the worst football teams in the NFL. And when you have, players in the draft like Nakobe Dean, out of Georgia, a great coverage linebacker, or the guy from Alabama, there is a lot of potential and uncertainty at the linebacker position. It's something that we need to watch. The corners, there's really nothing, right? There's no young guy, that we could really hang our hat on. I've pretty much given up on Lonnie Johnson. I want to continue to see Justin Reed be the turnover machine that he is. But as of right now, this is what I want to see out of the Houston Texans. This is what we need to see. Let me know what you guys think. As always, go Houston Texans. You guys have a blessed day.